Alright gentlemen, I'm gonna need your help for the beginning part of this video. Alright, so take a seat, get ready. Class has begun. Alright, so by a show of hands, who has ever heard somebody referred to as a toxic person? Alright, raise them up, get them up. Alright, good. Who here knows what a toxic person actually means? Well, for those of you who are not familiar with the term or what it means, I'm sure you can probably figure it out. If somebody refers to somebody as a toxic person, what do you think? The word toxic. What comes to mind, right? You think bunnies, kittens, awesome, fantastic stuff? No. You think not too great. Well, here's the deal. When you refer to somebody or when somebody is referred to as a toxic person, it's not meaning that they are a horrible person or that they're totally bad or even bad for that matter. All it means is that their behavior is not right or good for you. Their behavior is toxic, and much like the toxic waste dump, everything is poisoned that is around it too long. And it could be a friend, it could be a family member, it could be a coworker, it could be a significant other, it could be you. You could be the toxic person in somebody else's life, but I'm assuming you're sweet and you're great and all that good stuff, and you're bringing nothing but value to the table. But it is incredibly important to identify the toxic people that we have around us. But the issue is that a lot of times we're just too close to the situation, all right? We've been dealing with their toxic behavior so long, it's almost impossible for us to see what's going on. From the outside looking in, from somebody else's perspective, it's like, yo, why are you hanging out with old boy? He is totally toxic. But me, you, because we're so close, we can't actually see it. So, in an attempt to keep us all toxic person free, or at least to identify who the toxic people in our life are, I've come up with a little quiz. Shall we start? Alright, so as I run down these questions, you want to ask yourself, is anybody in my life sort of like this? Alright, do they fit the bill? You can be taking this quiz and be like, oh, number 4, it's like, oh my god, that is so Sarah, or Brian is so number 3 and number 7. If that's the case, we need to know who they are right now. Let's get started. Question number 1. Is there somebody in your life that criticizes you all the time? It doesn't matter how good you are, how great you are, or what you're doing. It seems like they're always interjecting little criticisms. They're never actually satisfied with you or how you do things. Is there somebody in your life like it? If so, T for toxic. Question number 2, is there somebody in your life that is constantly discrediting your dreams? You tell them something, right? You're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited, I want to be an astronaut. And they're like, you can't be an astronaut, dumbass. And you're like, why not? Because? Alright, is there somebody in your life that's totally discrediting, putting the kibosh on your hopes, your dreams, your passions? If so, T for toxic. Question number 3. Alright, do you have somebody in your life that is constantly lying to you? For no good reason. They lie about little things. They lie about big things. They just lie. It's gotten to the point where you don't even call them on their lies anymore. Somebody in your life like that? Doesn't tell the truth? Has a problem with constantly fibbing? Exaggerating? Yeah? Somebody? Huh? Toxic. Question number 4. Is there somebody in your life that never has anything good to say about anybody? They're constantly having negative, little picky, nitpicky, nasty things to say about everybody else. They never look in the mirror, not capable of that. But everybody else, they're doing everything wrong. You got somebody like that? You know what to do. I don't even have to say it. Oh, and newsflash. You know how they don't have anything good to say about anybody else when they're around you? Well, guess what? When they're around other people, they got nothing good to say about you. Question number 5. Do you have somebody in your life that is envious of your success and your successes? Now, they might not necessarily say like, oh, whatever, I'm so jealous, but you know who they are. They're not exactly happy like a friend should be. Friends are happy when other friends succeed. Give me a T, give me an O, give me an X, give me an I, give me a C. Question number 6. Is there somebody when you hang out with, you emotionally check out? You put up that emotional wall because in the past, their ups, their downs, their highs, their lows have affected you in such a negative way that you've realized that you need to keep them emotionally at arm's length. Is that right? You do. Guess what? Toxic. Number 7. Try not to... Eggshells. I'm walking on them in case you couldn't tell. That looked like I was doing some weird tribal dance. Well, that was eggshells. I was walking on them. You shouldn't have to when you've got somebody in your life that you consider a friend. If you constantly feel like you've got to basically curtail what you want to say, you are worried about offending them, affecting them, and saying the wrong thing, guess what? You betcha, toxic! And last but certainly not least, question number 8. Alright, you go to see somebody, right? Before you see them, you're feeling good. You're like, hey, I'm happy I just watched Alpha M and woo, feeling good. By the time you get there and after you are finished, you feel worse than when you started. You're lower. They have sucked the energy, the happiness, the joy, all the good stuff out of you because they are such an energy vampire. Guys, don't hang out with energy vampires. These people indeed are toxic. Guys, I'm here to tell you, once you try to change somebody's toxic behavior, if you realize it's not working and they're not changing, stop trying to fix the unfixable. Not clapping for myself. I'm washing my hands of toxic people, and I hope you do the same. It's tough. It's very difficult because some of these toxic people, we've been around them so long. It's just the way that we don't know how to be without them, and that's pretty scary. All right. I think what you're going to find is if you can give yourself some distance, give yourself enough distance to gain some perspective, you're going to see that these people are doing more damage than they are good. And if you've got people in your life that are damaging you more than they are actually giving and you're extracting value, it's time to make some tough decisions, all right? Send them on their way with love and compassion. Get back to loving yourself and moving forward in your own life with positive, productive people.